Mike Pendleton here with the On the Mic podcast and SureDog.com. And finally, it's only been a few months. I had the opportunity to watch this man live in person, cover his fights in 2025 down in Florida. One of the very best people you can meet in the sport. One of the very best people you can meet overall. It doesn't matter, professional athlete or not. The former PFL champion, Impa Kasanganay. Impa, good to see you, sir. How are you?
Mike, how you doing? Happy New Year. Good to see you, man.
Yeah. Happy New Year, right? Most
Great
people
stuff.
celebrate in January. We celebrate when the PFL really starts kicking things off. And you will be inside the Smart Cage on March 28th in Pittsburgh, taking on a hometown favorite in Dalton Roster. But what a matchup it is. First and foremost, a lot of moving parts in the PFL coming into 2026. How excited are you for some of these changes?
Yeah, I'm excited for the change. Like I said, I think they're putting the fights like in cool locations, right? You talk about championship fight where Vincennes is from, now fight where Dalton's from, and just like seeing how the matchups, the changes, the rankings now outside the tournament. So I'm excited to see the growth of the PFL and all over the globe. So grateful to be a part of it.
And you've obviously won a championship through their previous format, the tournament format. Now all of that is thrown out the window. We've got rankings. We've got people knowing where their path goes, you being one of them. Dalton Russell spoke to him. He knows what a fight with you does for either of you going through 2026. When you saw the rankings reveal, which I feel like was a big thing, no matter the number or the spot, whether you agree or disagree, how big was it for you to get some validation to the changes that the PFL has made?
I think it's super cool. It's started training at 24. It's kind of like I always go back to that in my mind. And then you get to be ranked number 3 in the world in your organization. It's not where you want to be. Of course, you want to be champion, right? So anything lower than champion is just something you got to strive for. So I'm grateful. Go get another title in a new format. You got to solidify yourself another way in another weight class. It's a testimony to my team, like my trainers, Dieter, Joanna, everybody. Like the way the PFL has become welcome me and my team and my family. I'm just like, man, like we're doing something right. It feels good, right? So um, just dialed in, inspired, like I said, looking forward to claiming this victory, March 28th, and just they're huge implications, right? So just dialed in, man.
The one thing I love, I feel like I could talk to somebody who's not you, but has had the success you've had in the PFL, and they would just say, "Oh, it's changes. Like I'll get accustomed to it, and then we'll just move on and move forward." When I look at you in this fight against Dalton Rasta, and I see, oh, there's rankings, there's a title, it's a different division. I just see the word challenge for Impa Kasanganay, and that's something where most people say good morning, and you say welcome to challenges, right? So when I look at just the way this is all laid out for you, how excited are you? Not by rankings or placing or anything like that, but just you have a new challenge in front of you.
Right, yeah, you get bored without challenges, right? Some challenges we bring onto ourselves, and some challenges we get presented. And the ones that get presented to us are the ones that I think call us to greater in life, and so many different parts to it, right? You get to go into somebody's hometown, take them out, like what an honor that is. You take it back in the day, like you get to go conquer. New weight class, being a better professional, refining your team. Um, what's next after that, but still staying dialed in. Right? It's a different thing. It's like a new thought process, like tournament style. You win, you move forward. You win, you move forward. You win, you move forward. Forget everything else. Now rankings. Okay, you might sit and wait. They might be talking. They might be waiting. They might throw you a curveball. All right, cool. But all you gotta do is just focus on hunting, taking out your opponent, and moving forward, and you'll get rewarded. And God has a great plan. So it's cool. It's cool to see. And I like challenges, right? Like I talked to my mentor friend Jonathan Logan a lot. It's like I would just see challenges as a new opportunity, and this is what it is. It's an opportunity, something great.
And I can't wait. I'll talk to you in a moment about going into Pittsburgh and enemy territory. But I just look at all the things that you have accomplished and what now is in front of you. It's not just so much that it's a something new for you to conquer, but more of a adding to your legacy, adding to your resume. Something we've talked about the PFL has done for you, in my opinion, more than anyone else. They told the story the right way. And when you mention now going to Pittsburgh in your enemy's backyard, right, in Dalton Ross's backyard, how much more is that a chapter in your legacy of, as you said, I get to go somewhere else and conquer my opponent in his own backyard?
Yeah, it's a huge honor. It's just like you said, PFL's done a great job telling my story, and I'm just honored. But it's like without Joanna, Tani, the whole crew, like like media, journalism, like journalists. I mean, my story probably wouldn't be known as well or even out there, right? Without my coaches get it on me every single day, and my family, like it wouldn't be anything but just another fighter, which there's nothing wrong with it, but that's where I would be. And, we put the work in. We have faith, and it's like people challenge you and they call you out on where you're messing up in life. They encourage you to greater. You got to pray. Like I have like a huge, great community, right? So um, it's what you pray for, right? Like when you're a kid and like I don't know, I always thought like doing the military, the fight, whatever. It's like you get to go out there and be that warrior and say like, yeah, like I got to step into that crowd. I got to step into that smart cage and show them my duty, right? Claim victory, honor God, do my job, move forward, and burn the ships. Keep your eyes focused on what's ahead. And that to me is like what brought me into the PFL. Wherever I go get a conquer, like I didn't know I was going to be in the tournament in 23. I wanted to be, but you win the Challenger Series and then you're a showcase fight, and then all of a sudden things shake up. I said, just call me. It doesn't matter where I go, who it is, where it is. And I get to do that again. Like, what a story that's been set up, right? I think everybody's always trying to jump ship. They do this, they do that. But like, I've been so blessed to be part of the PFL and just going on to this next chapter, this next stage with it, the highs, the lows, the dips, the weird moments, you name it. Like, I've always been really taken care of. I've always been really blessed to be a part of it. And I believe we're going to be excited for this new chapter in my life.
I can't wait for it. And I know, Impa, from having the opportunity and the privilege really to cover you throughout the years, that this may be such a simple question because I feel like personally I know the answer, but I feel it'd be more impactful for everyone to hear this answer. How do you not get complacent, right? Because we spoke about challenges, we spoke about new things to conquer, but it would be so simple as someone who has been at the mountaintop, has seen changes through and through to just go, man, just call me when I have a fight and I'll just go do what I do. But you don't get complacent. And more than just not getting complacent, your motivation never settles. So how do you keep that going day in and day out?
It's how I was raised. It's just like the expectation is to do well. That anything you do, my dad always told me, my mom's like, no matter where they drop you off in the world, be successful. Excellence is the standard. And there are times I've definitely dropped the ball there, right? So you always know you can be better. And it's a pretty cliche statement, but it's the truth. It says when you climb to the top of the mountain, one thing you learn is that there are many more mountaintops. And what you became in that process, what you did, like when you were in the valley, when I was on the farm, you lost everything, when you lost the title fight, like that climb up the mountain is it's challenging, right? Like you lose people, you gain people, you meet new people on your journey, you have new moments, new challenges, right? Like you learn a lot about yourself and a lot about what's next. But then eventually you get to that mountaintop, you're like, man, like I felt good again, and you earned it. So this time it's like, okay, cool, new weight class, new opponents, new style, new opportunity. Knowing I don't get to do this forever, right? We're all gonna die one day. We're all gonna look back and say like, okay, what did I do with my life? Um, and for the fact that I get to step into a cage, somebody can take the money that they earned and buy a ticket or show up, and you have all this media and attention to ask you questions. Like you want to honor, and I always say honor God, do my job. So if you're honoring God, you gotta do it right. You gotta be truthful with yourself. You have to look back on your life and the life you're gonna set up for the future. And the job's not finished. There's a lot more to get done, and I plan to fight 15 more years. So there are a lot of goals. There are a lot of goals out there. I want to do some really special things. So I feel like I'm a baby in this. I just got started. So you want to conquer, you want to dominate and build your empire, that a kingdom that honors God and your future family and stuff. So like I don't feel like I've really done much yet. I don't feel like I've done much yet. There's so many more mountains I do plan to conquer.
Well, that seatbelt we just heard click was your entire team, Joanna, your coaches, everybody going, all right, we got 15 more years according to Impa. And let's talk about March 28th, Dalton Rasta. You talked about new division. We know you're going into Pittsburgh, into enemy territory. Dalton Rasta obviously made it to where you were came out on the wrong side at the end of 2025 against Fabian Edwards. But things are moving very quickly. For my money, highly competitive, probably the best division in the PFL. And for my money, the most talent in the middleweight division across all promotions is where you guys are. What do you make of Dalton as an opponent?
Well, just the first part that you said, I think what got me really excited, and like your previous question as well, in 2023, I think the PFL's 205 division was one of the best in the world, if not the best. And that is exciting. So to fast forward now to 2026, and you look at the 85 division overall, really solid fighters and organizations too, but man, the 85 division in the PFL is pretty special. So you're grateful that you get to be in that position again, and that is inspiring. That is, it doesn't have to be the $1 million at the end of the tournament. It doesn't have to be, it's like, okay, let's go get this title. Let's go get this. And Dalton, solid fighter, obviously American top team guy. I fought a few of them, from Josh twice to Johnny Edlin, Dovlet, probably other people I forget. Like it's just like, what's up, guys? It's like let's go to war again. Let's go to battle again. And solid fighter. Obviously made it to championship fight. Fought AJ twice. Got to see a lot of tape on him, and got to see a lot of of who he is. Spoken to him. I know he's going to be motivated. I know he's going to be inspired. And he has personal reasons why he wants to win. I know that there's all this, but I got a job to do, and I'm looking forward to it.
What's your message to the city of Pittsburgh? Because, like you said, he's going to come in all fired up. I'm curious what your message to the fans are.
My message to the fans of Pittsburgh. Good question. Wow, man, Pittsburgh's a hardworking town, right? And I think the best. I had a rugby coach tell me once. He says the best way to respect your opponent is to beat them as badly as they can be beaten by. So, I look forward to going there, taking over, claiming victory, and respecting the city with a great fight and a dominant victory that they deserve, right? The Steel, right? We call it Pittsburgh, the Steel City. Like, they don't deserve like a soft fight. They deserve that grit. They deserve what represents Pittsburgh, and hopefully it'll bring fights back to Pittsburgh. But going there to dominate, take over, and maybe I'll bring out a terrible towel just to give them the shout out.
But that's one of my favorite quotes whenever I've asked you about, what you expect to do in your fight with your opponents, just beat them as badly. That's how you show respect. I know it's from a rugby coach, but let's just coin that your quote, because you use it every time, and it's so beautiful, and it's very spine-chilling, honestly. Last one here for you, Impa, and I always appreciate your time. 2026, we talked about the changes. We talked about this fight. And we've mentioned the chapter to your legacy that this now presents, because we don't have a year-by-year season anymore. When you look at the talent in your division, you look at how long you want to fight, what does 2026 ultimately, before you even step inside the cage, what does it mean to your legacy personally of what you can do, let's say, from now and 5 years from now?
To me, 2026 is the year of refined restoration, right? It's a sense of where you won, you lost, you won. Now it's like, what did Roy Jones Jr. say? Like, he must have forgot. And then it's like, you get to do that, but with the right people, the right team, the right mindset, the right faith, the right love, everything. So the fight you're going to see is way better than 2023. Another world title, middleweight title wrapped around my waist, and then deciding where to move forward from there. But just a year of absolute dominance, better than the PFL's ever seen from me, than the world's ever seen from me, and better than I've ever seen from myself. So, simple, absolute domination, second weight class world title, and just moving forward in a great way.
They will set the stage and they will steal the show inside the Steel City. It's Impa Kasanganay, Dalton Rust, March 28th, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, for the PFL. Impa, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Mike.